Black and White Network. We are back with another video. And as you guys know, the parental rights in education is now the law of the land in Florida right now. And the left is freaking out. They have dubbed it "Don't Say Gay," which is a lie. I did a video on Ron Perlman, crazy leftist actor out there freaking out, calling Ron DeSantis all kind of names, but I went through the bill. It says nothing about "don't say gay." That is a leftist lie. It stops the grooming of children. And there's a video going around now from MSNBC around the internet. And this is a prime example, guys, why the parental rights in education bill needed to exist. Check this out. This is on MSNBC's YouTube channel here. Florida teacher speaks about passage of "Don't Say Gay" bill. And this teacher is a part of the LGBTQ community. So let's react to this, man. He's making the point as to the reason why this bill needs to exist. And he doesn't even realize he's doing it. He doesn't. Let's go ahead and let's play this, guys.
Joining me now is Corey Bernard, a kindergarten teacher at Barbara A. Harvey Elementary in Parrish, Florida. He is openly gay and has spoken about how this new law is going to impact his classroom. Corey, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Just give me first your reaction.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
To the Florida governor signing this into law.
Yeah, it's twofold. It really hits hard in my heart professionally and personally, both. Professionally, it truly makes me feel like I am not trusted as a professional. I know my kindergarten standards through and through, and nowhere in our curriculum does it have anything about teaching sexual orientation or sexual identity.
Then what's the problem? Why are you worried about it then? What is the problem? You're part of the alphabet community. That's fine. As long as you're sticking to the curriculum, that's fine. What is so controversial about this bill? It gets worse, though, guys. Check it out.
So for them to say that's happening, it's kind of crazy.
Because it is happening. There's been video out there of teachers indoctrinating children, grooming them. It's out there. You may not be doing it, at least not yet. Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you never did. But it's been happening out there. We've seen it.
But we should be able to have discussions, and that's what we're encouraged to do in kindergarten. And then personally, because my kids do have questions. They want to know who my partner is in pictures outside of my classroom, and I should be able to speak to that.
Okay. So he is supposed to be a teacher. Okay. He's not supposed to be getting personal with the students. If you have a partner, folks, I was in kindergarten, I was in first grade, second grade, third grade. Never had a conversation about anything personal with my teachers. I didn't know who their husbands were or wives. Never knew it. Because that's not something that needs to be taught in the school. Stick to teaching, especially in kindergarten, reading, writing. And at that age, man, you see that there's too many activists out there. This is why this law needed to be in place. The stuff like that. He's actually saying we need to have these conversations. No, you don't. You don't need to have these conversations with a 5-year-old.
So do you worry that you won't even be able to talk about your own personal home life? I mean, I have a child in kindergarten right now. I know exactly that my child has 2 teachers, one of which has a daughter at home and is single. The other is married and has 4 children. I know everything about their lives because my kid tells me.
Absolutely.
Now, that should really worry you right there. That her kid is telling her about the personal life of her teacher. That's pretty scary. The students know a whole bunch about her teacher away from the school. What are they teaching in these schools?
you are 100% correct. That's what we do as educators. We build relationships with our kids. And in order to build relationships, you talk about your home life. You talk about what you do on the weekends. That's building community.
Okay. You're not a relationship builder. You are a teacher. You're not supposed to be talking about what you did on the weekend. And I know you're part of the alphabet community, but even if you were straight, you don't have conversations about what you were doing on the weekend. You stick to the curriculum. When the bell strikes, when the bell rings, I should say, it's time to teach. That's what you're there to teach, not build a relationship. Parents have relationships with their kids. You are there to provide a service and teach. There is a difference.
It scares me to death that I am not going to be able to have these conversations with my children because they're going to ask me what I did on the weekend. I don't want to have to hide that my partner and I went paddleboarding this weekend because then they ask, well, what does partner mean, Mr. Bernard? And, I'm worried. Can I tell them what it means? I'm also worried for my kids. I have a little girl this year who has two moms, and the kids are curious about her two moms. They want to know about her two moms. If they go to her and ask her about her two moms and she doesn't know what to say, they're going to come to me and ask me. And then, so what do? It opens up for parents to really take some legal action against the schools and teachers. And I am afraid for myself, my colleagues, and my students.
All you got to do is stick to the curriculum. That's it. And if a student asks you about your own personal life, say, hey, we don't talk about that here. Personal lives are not to be talked about in school. We are here to educate. I've never got into the personal lives of any of my teachers, kindergarten through my master's degree. Never talked about their personal lives, even up in college. And for the most part, guys in kindergarten, first, second grade, didn't even know my teacher's first name. It was Mr. or Mrs. last name. That's the way it was.
How do you expect to navigate that situation? Because for as a parent of a young child, I want to celebrate difference, and I want my child to celebrate differences as well and to learn about them.
Absolutely. It's hard to navigate, especially when you have words that are injecting, indoctrinating. When you have those words coming from, our state legislators and our higher government, those words, those are synonymous with some very hurtful words. And so when I think about navigating this bill, I am going to be mindful, but I'm going to follow my kids' discretion and what they want to discuss. And if they ask me, I'm going to be true and honest to them because it's who I am.
That's who you are. Corey Burnett.
Okay. So this guy right here, it seems like he really wants to actually talk about these things that he's not supposed to be talking about. If he was not interested in talking about these things, he would not make a big deal about it. But it's clear he wants to talk about these things. It's very, very unprofessional, folks. You shouldn't be talking about these kind of things with 5-year-olds. You're a kindergarten teacher. This is unprofessional, man. This is why this law is in place. This is why the law is in place. If a 5-year-old comes up to you and asks you something about your personal life, say, hey, that's private. Not going to talk about my family. I wouldn't tell my students, if I was a teacher, about my personal life. I mean, me and my wife, we're actually pretty private over here. We don't tell people about our own personal business. And I've never had a teacher go in depth when she's supposed to be teaching me something to tell me about, you know what, guys, I want to talk about my husband. I want to tell you guys about my husband. I want to tell you what we did this weekend. No teacher's ever done that to me. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, now you guys see why this bill needs to exist. But of course, MSNBC is still calling it Don't Say Gay. when the bill has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that whatsoever. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.